Finders, keepers, losers, weepers, remember that? Well, that doesn't cut it with this parable about the man who found a treasure in the field. Because in the days of Jesus, the idea was that whatever was valuable, wealth, money, possessions, fields, land, it was all allotted from the beginning by God. And so anybody who got a little bit more, who grew in wealth, was assumed to have stolen it in some way from somebody else. They didn't think the way we think today. We live where the accruing of wealth is just taken for granted as long as you can do it. The trouble with parables are that they're very, very culturally situated. And that's why Jesus says that the scribe in the kingdom, and you know, we're all kingdom people, don't forget that. We're not talking about other people. We're talking, in these parables, Jesus is talking about us. We are kingdom people. What is the kingdom? It's not something that's coming. It's not what happens after you drop dead. It's now. The kingdom of God began to take over the world in the person of Jesus, and it continues to take over the world slowly and subtly, like the leaven in the dough that Jesus mentioned before, and it will blossom in its fullness when Jesus returns. So we're living in kingdom time. We are kingdom people. And what Jesus is saying to us in these parables is that we have to draw out from the kingdom a way of life. His teaching, his example, of course, are the primary sources of that. And we have to apply them to the culture and the society and the way of living that we are involved in today. And so there's a perfect example of a parable that has to be adapted. But the important thing about parables is that they only really have one point. And what is the point of these parables, especially the first two? That nothing gets in the way of the kingdom. That we let nothing come before kingdom values, the values of Jesus, and of course our behavior, which hopefully flows from the values that we have accepted. The second point that we need to remember is that the kingdom isn't something we earn. The kingdom from the beginning, from the get-go, is a gift. We are blessed with it, we are graced with it, we are given it by God. And so all Jesus asks us to do is to work with the gift we have received and to go more deeply into that gift. But as time goes on, the values of the kingdom don't change, but we change. We become more insightful. We become more understanding. We become less selfish. And so the values of the kingdom can then begin to pervade our being more and more as time goes on, which will have a result in our behavior changing. We don't strain and grit our teeth to change our behavior. We change because our being changes. When we are baptized into the life of Jesus and into the kingdom of God. And that's a living reality. It's not like something you get on a piece of paper like a baptismal certificate. It's a way of life. And what Jesus is saying here is that as we grow older, we will bring out from the storehouse new things and old. We will become more insightful, more understanding of what it means to be a citizen of the kingdom. And we will begin to live, act, behave accordingly. That's how the kingdom works. And thank God he's given us, most of us at least, a whole lifetime already to immerse ourselves in that. And if we find that perhaps we're not as immersed in that kingdom as we should be, if our citizenship is, citizen, you can be I'm an American citizen, but when did you vote last? And they ask questions like that. Well, you could be a citizen of the kingdom and ask yourself the same questions. And so what these parables are prompting us to do is to look into the gift of the kingdom which we have already received and to see if we need to go more deeply into the gift. Or perhaps better put, let the gift penetrate us more deeply.